Mama's Magical Quest, Fairies in the Garden by Sandra L. Hunt. Join me now for an epic tale that comes from South Africa, a land of amazing people, a place you should consider visiting if you're not from there. At the far end of our garden, you'll find a baobab tree. It's unlike any other in all of history. It's about a mile wide, I'd say. Its branches touch the sky. But that's not what makes it special, so listen up and find out why. Should you happen to visit it, as the sun sets in the west, you may just be invited to be its fairies' guest. They've lived there for ages, for many, many years. Even your mama as a child sat on their golden chairs. It was on winter solstice, just as the moon began to rise. Mama tripped over a root of the tree. She scraped her knee and began to cry. The sun's last rays glistened on her tears, and the moonbeams did so too. Her tears dripped onto the tree, turning the bark see-through. At first, she thought she was seeing things. She quickly rubbed her eyes, for where the tears had fallen, a blue door materialized. Beside the door, on a little chair, apparently fast asleep, sat the first of many fairies your mama would soon meet. He appeared clean and tidy. Blonde furls framed his face. He couldn't have been much taller than your mama's pencil case. At first she thought he was a doll. Then she saw his mustache twitch. It seemed some hair had gone up his nose, and it was causing it to itch. When she saw his hand go to his nose to push the hair away, she wondered, should I say hello or quietly sneak away? Gogo often warned her she should not talk to strangers. But could a man so small, so cute, pose any dangers? She thought, maybe I should wait a bit, in case I'm mistaken. Maybe I should hide away and wait for him to awaken. The sun by now was hanging low, but the moon was full and bright. She really couldn't wait too long, because day would soon become night. As soon as dinner is ready, Gogo would be calling her inside. She knew she'd never find such another small man if she searched the whole wide world. Oh, what the heck, she spoke aloud. It would be such a shame if I were to go home tonight without even knowing his name. Your mama's words weren't all that loud, but they woke the little sprite. He sprang into a karate pose as if prepared to fight. In one small hand, he held a wand that glowed in emerald green. 2 steps back, he growled at her. His eyes flashed hard and mean. Excuse me, sir, your mama said. Could you please try to be calm? I found you quite by accident. I don't mean you any harm. When passing here, I tripped and fell. Look, I even scraped my knee. But then I saw you sleeping there and forgot it instantly. You look so cute just lying there. I was hoping we'd be friends. It can get so dull here all alone. It drives me around the bend. The fairy's eyes grew softer then. He relaxed his fighting stance. I'm sorry if I scared you. I just couldn't take a chance. Tonight's the queen is in session. I'm supposed to be on guard, but staying awake when all alone is actually rather hard. So if you want to be my friend, you need not ask me twice. You have something to talk to would be really nice. Both new friends soon felt quite at ease. Both chatted cheerfully. Murray used his wand to fix your mama's knee. His mustache had a mind of its own. It seemed always on the go. It would disappear and then return, change to black, green, or white like snow. He spoke to it as if it were far more than a facial feature. He called it Pet and warned Mama, Pet is a terrible, playful creature. He said he had not met a girl before. Human sightings were quite rare, but that was why the fairy folk stayed in the middle of nowhere. He told her that there was time, known as the Great Divide, when humans turned on fairy folk, hunting them both far and wide. They were stripped of all their magic, robbed of all their gold, bound and kept in cages, both the young ones and the old. But some of them fled in the night, following stars called Pegasus. That time in their history is sometimes called the Exodus. They traveled over mountains, forests, and great seas, and made their way to Africa, where they could live in peace. There were vast stretches of savanna where few men ever roam. The queen thought, this is just a place to settle and call home. We've been living here 500 years, Murray told Mama, looking grim, but I fear it may be time to move now that your family has moved in. Murray's tale made your mama sad. She shook her little head. Don't leave, she said. I promise you, there's no reason to be scared. My mama wouldn't hurt a fly, and I just know that you will find, if you were there to meet my daddy, you would find him very kind. Whatever folk you ran from, they're from a different mold. We would never hurt you or try to take your gold. Murray raised a tiny hand as if to cut her short. He said, "Your words are wasted unless presented to our court." "I'm still a lowly guard," he said, "and though I have the gift of crystal vision, as much as I would love to choose, I don't make the big decisions. I've looked at you with my third eye, and I don't think you're being mean, so I think what we should do is present you to our queen." "I've never met a queen before," said your mama, filled with dread. "I have a book about a queen who likes to chop off heads." Murray laughed but reassured her about his queen and the court elders. He said, "You do not need to worry. Your head will stay there on your shoulders. But I'll have to shrink quite a bit to fit it through the door. I'm thinking half, 3 times, perhaps a little more." Before Mama fully understood or managed to respond, he said some words in fairy tongue and tapped her with his wand. The world seemed suddenly bigger. The grass looked tall as the trees, and Mama's eyes were still adjusting when she got up, swept by the breeze. It lifted her into the air like a feather or a kite. Murray grabbed her by the foot. He pulled her with all his might. Murray, though, was just as small, and the wind had grown quite strong, so although he tried to hold her down, it just pulled him right along. Up, up, up they sped away. Mama knew not what to do. She began to worry. They were headed for the moon. As they passed an owl and nightjar, Mama tried to capture their attention. As the birds were busy hunting, she's lucky they did not see them. She started thinking of your Go-Go and her daddy on the ground. How sad they were bound to be if she were never found. Then as fast as it stopped, the wind began to drop. Mama was sure she was going to land on the ground with a mighty flop. The ground was coming quickly. Wind whizzed through her hair. I don't know what she would have done had Murray not been there. His wings beat hard against the wind, twinkling like diamonds in the sky. In all of the confusion, Mama forgot that fairies fly. Murray held her gently, and they glided to the ground. They had not quite yet reached it when she heard a familiar sound. Go-Go had finished cooking and was calling her to dine. Mama asked Murray, would it be okay to meet the queen another time? So Murray said some magic words and grew Mama back to her proper height, then told her he would watch for her when the next day turned to night. While helping Go-Go with her chores, Mama shared the fairies' plight and how she'd made the promise that they would be all right. Go-Go listened patiently, but sported a strange look, because as far as Go-Go knew, fairies only lived in books. "It's true, I swear," your Mama said. "I'm going to meet their queen today." Go-Go smiled and shook her head, then sent Mama out to play. Mama sped off on her bicycle the moment she was free. With the sun beating down on her back, she soon arrived at the baobab tree. Her heart raced as fast as her feet, and excitement grew galore. She could not wait to find Murray and the little blue arched door. She circled around the baobab, but neither could see. She soon began to wonder, could it all have been a dream? It couldn't be, she told herself. I just know that it was real. And doesn't Go-Go always tell me to trust the way I feel? Then she recalled what Murray said about day turning to night, and realized she would have to wait until the time was right. From then the day dragged slowly, as slow as an asthmatic snail. How Mama wished that it could pass with the flick of an impala's tail. She tried reading a book and coloring, then mixed borax with her slime, but whenever she looked at the kitchen clock, it had barely moved an inch in time. She watched some birds, then rode her bike. She climbed a jacaranda tree, and even after all that, the clock only read 2:45. She was sure the time would drive her mad if she was unable to keep busy, so she practiced her ballet twirls until she was quite dizzy. At last the clock reached after 5, so she switched off her cassette. She rushed off on her bicycle just as the sun began to set. The scent of bush potatoes hung heavily in the air. Long dark shadows danced everywhere. Yet the trees seemed to glimmer in the soft glowing light. It was that magical moment just before day turns to night. Through the trees' roots and shadows, Mama set out to explore. Her heart pounded with excitement as she spotted the blue door. With the grace of nimble, quick and clear, Murray leaped to his feet as she drew near. She could tell by his face that something wasn't right. His mustache pet was drooping and his wings soon folded tight. I can't stay long, he told her. I'm not allowed to play with you. The elders say it's dangerous because of the things that humans do. That's not fair, your Mama cried. All humans aren't the same. If other people hurt you, why must I take the blame? Please, talk to your elders. Make them see the light. Everyone is different. We don't all want to fight. You're right, Murray answered. I'll tell the elders how we feel. It's time for the great divide to be over. It's now time for us to heal. Don't worry. I know that it'll work. My third eye showed me so. The queen, I'm sure, will understand. We must let our grudges go. For now, you best go home again, but don't close your window very tight. When I have good news for you, I'll sneak through in the night. That was the first of Mama's adventures by that great old baobab tree. There were many more to follow, of that I guarantee. Murray did come as he promised through the window late one night, and your mama got to meet the Queen under the moon's soft silver light. Now, if the sun is sinking, put this book back on the shelf, head on down to the baobab. You might meet Murray for yourself. The end.